Have you ever wondered how a single person could take down some of the most powerful organizations in the world using nothing but their computer skills? Well, today we're diving into the story of Kevin Mitnick, the world's most dangerous hacker. His story is one of intrigue, deception, and a high-stakes game of cat and mouse with the FBI. From his humble beginnings to his eventual downfall, we're going to take a closer look at the man behind the most notorious hacks in history. So buckle up and get ready to be amazed by the incredible story of Kevin Mitnick and how he became the most wanted hacker in the world. At the young age of 12, Mitnick developed a passion for circumventing code. He relied on social engineering and dumpster diving as his primary tools to bypass punch card systems utilized by the Los Angeles bus system. Mitnick was able to persuade a bus driver to reveal the location where he could purchase a ticket punched for a supposed school project. He stated that his passion for magic led him to become a hacker. As a child, he rode his bike to a magic store after school to witness salespeople performing tricks repeatedly. Later in high school, he met a peer who possessed exceptional telephone skills and could perform tricks. The friend even obtained his mother's enlisted phone number. Afterwards, he gained the ability to take any bus within the larger Los Angeles region by using transfer slips that were discarded and left unclaimed in a dumpster located beside the bus company's garage. As time passed, he shifted to relying mainly on social engineering to gather information, such as usernames and passwords, as well as modem phone numbers. At the age of 16, Mitnick gained entry into the Digital Equipment Corporation computer system, marking his first unauthorized access to a network. He managed to infiltrate DEC's computer network and created copies of their software. This was one of the earliest crimes he was found guilty of. In 1988, he received a 12-month prison sentence and was placed under 3 years of supervision by authorities after his conviction. Towards the end of his supervised release, Mitnick was found to have hacked into the Pacific Bell's voicemail computers, indicating that he was taking a significant risk. This prompted officials to issue an arrest warrant for Mitnick, who then evaded authorities and remained a fugitive for approximately 2.5 years. Despite Mitnick's preference for maintaining a low profile and his hacking philosophy centered on pursuing knowledge and excitement rather than personal gain, he was portrayed as a villain in Cyberpunk, Outlaws and Hackers on the Computer Frontier, a book published in 1995 by Hafner and Markov. They labeled him a dark side hacker. USA Today subsequently published a photo of Mitnick's face superimposed on an image of Darth Vader, and this was the point where he became the most wanted by the FBI. The FBI's fear during Mitnick's case stemmed from their limited comprehension of computer technology. As a result, they viewed Mitnick as a significant threat and chose to pursue him. At the time, Mitnick was in Denver, Colorado, a location he appreciated for its isolated mountainous environment. Nonetheless, law enforcement was actively pursuing him. Mitnick devised a plan to evade detection by creating new identities for himself. He accomplished this by tailoring his resume to match job postings' requirements and provided fabricated references. According to Mitnick, this was an easy task, and he was able to create a new past for himself. To avoid being identified, Mitnick refrained from making close friends or dating due to his widely publicized image. While he did have favorite bars and restaurants, he made sure not to be overly friendly with other patrons. Mitnick, who was previously overweight, began going to the gym every day and even put rocks in his shoes to change his gait, as he believed that was the #1 way he could be recognized. Despite the stress of constantly looking over his shoulder, he treated the situation like he wasn't on the run and acted normal around law enforcement. Although once he was on the front page of the New York Times, Mitnick became a high priority for capture. Mitnick eventually moved to Seattle, where he took on the alias of Brian Merrill and worked at a technology company. However, he made a formidable enemy in Tsutomu Shimomura, a respected security expert and a hacker himself. Despite Shimomura being just as complex as Mitnick, he would report security holes he discovered to authorities instead of to other hackers. Shimomura played a significant role in Mitnick's capture. In December 1994, an unknown hacker used an advanced hacking technique to break into Tsutomu Shimomura's complex computer system in his San Diego home and stole expensive cellular phone tools. Shimomura saw this as a personal challenge and became determined to catch the perpetrator when the investigation led to Kevin Mitnick. He became a cyber sleuth with a mission to catch Kevin. Throughout the 1970s until his final arrest in 1995, Kevin Mitnick was known for his ability to skillfully evade corporate security measures, infiltrating even the most well-guarded systems of companies like Sun Microsystems, Digital Equipment Corporation, Motorola, Netcom, and Nokia. Despite allegations, he denied ever hacking into the Department of Defense's North American Aerospace Defense Command or wiretapping the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In a 1994 New York Times article, he was described as having hacked into the North American Air Defense Command as a teenager, but this was untrue and contributed to his legendary status. With the assistance of Shimomura's cooperation and technical expertise, the FBI ultimately located him in Raleigh, California. Upon being apprehended, he was found in possession of cloned cellular phones, over 100 cloned cellular phone codes, and several pieces of false identification. In 1999, as part of a plea agreement, he agreed to 4 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of computer fraud, and 1 count of illegally intercepting communications. He was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison, which concluded in 2000. Because the guards believed he could manipulate the prison's computer system, he was even placed in solitary confinement for 8 months. After completing his prison sentence on January 21, 2000, he was subject to supervised release until January 21, 2003. During this period, he was initially forbidden from using any communication technology besides a landline phone. Minnick disputed this decision in court, but was eventually granted permission to access the internet. As part of the plea agreement, he was prohibited from profiting from books or films based on his criminal activities for 7 years. Minnick, who was deemed mentally stable, was granted an amateur radio license by a FCC judge in December 2002. Nowadays, he owns Mitnick Security, a successful security firm. The company's global ghost teams utilize Mitnick's black hat hacker skills to test company security systems and identify weaknesses. Minnick is highly intelligent and proficient in his field and has written 3 books, including the one on social engineering, which largely defines what is known about the subject today. Social engineering, which involves obtaining information like passwords through deceitful methods, remains the primary approach hackers use to gain access to systems. Minnick primarily performs penetration testing, which involves examining the physical security, technical security, and people in a company. He evaluates everything, including wireless networks and VoIP phones, to uncover vulnerabilities that clients can resolve. Minnick charges a substantial fee for his testing services, but he did not disclose the amount. The task at hand for Minnick and his team is to penetrate the computer systems, networks, phones, and buildings of various companies throughout any means possible without getting caught, just as he did 2 decades ago, and then report on their methods. Interestingly, Minnick and his ever-exchanging group of skilled hackers have a 100% success rate, which is not an exaggeration or myth according to him. Despite the emergence of various hacking methods to access private information, Minnick claims that the primary approach used by hackers since the 70s remains unchanged. This technique, called social engineering, involves manipulating, deceiving, and influencing the target to comply with the request, usually to disclose information or click on an email attachment. One of the victims following the attacker's instructions by opening the attachment, the computer is compromised. Kevin Mitnick is often tasked with infiltrating a company's computer system and gaining access to places where he would be normally barred. He accomplishes this not only by hacking into computers, but by also using social engineering tactics. Social engineering involves deceiving someone with access to a system or building into divulging information. Mitnick asserts that it's easier to manipulate people than to hack into computers, and the most successful way to breach a system is to trick a person into doing something foolish. Mitnick acknowledges the adage that there is no cure for the stupid. Despite being vilified by the government and corporations of the past, Mitnick has now become a white hat hacker who exposes critical weaknesses in security systems. Having served his time in prison, he is now recognized as one of the most esteemed hackers in history. Mitnick's goal is to break down security systems and reveal vulnerabilities in code to promote improvements in cybersecurity. And that is the story of Kevin Mitnick, the world's most notorious hacker turned cybersecurity expert. From his humble beginnings as a teenage hacker using social engineering to bypass buzz systems to becoming a fugitive evading the FBI, Mitnick's journey is nothing short of fascinating. But what's even more impressive is how he has used his skills for good, for helping companies identify and fix their security weaknesses. Mitnick's story is a testament to the power of personal transformation, and his legacy serves as a reminder that anyone can change their path in life. So, next time you hear a story about a hacker breaking into a system, just think of Kevin Mitnick and remember that even the most dangerous hackers can become cybersecurity experts. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next one.